Something's not quite right. Almost there. All right, now we can do this. What is up, people? Dunna here, and welcome to my 2020 holiday gift guide for photographers, videographers, YouTubers, content creators. For those of you who are here actually shopping for somebody else, kudos to you. And for those of you who are here shopping for yourself, well, you know, treat yourself. Every year it is super difficult to narrow down a list, but I am very excited about the stuff that I have to share with you today. And of course, as always, the links for everything that I talk about will be down in the description. So if you want to check out anything further, you can do so down there. Those are affiliate links, so they do support the channel without costing you any extra. So without further ado, let's get into the first item. All right, kicking things off with probably the perfect stocking stuffer, this is the Smallrig multi-tool. This is specifically made with photographers and videographers in mind. So on the one side, we've got a couple of different screwdriver bits that are really handy, and then we've got this flat head portion here, which is really handy so that you don't have to carry around a coin all the time to get your tripod base plates on and off. And on the other side, we've got 3 different Allen key attachments that are different common sizes within photography and videography equipment. The next item on the list goes out to anyone who lives in a cold climate like I do. These are Vallerret photography gloves. Basically what they've done with these gloves is made an opening on the index finger and thumb so that you can open them up, dial in all your settings on your camera or hit your shutter button, and then you can put your fingers back away when you don't need them. There are little magnets to hold the flaps open, and there's a little pocket on the back of the glove so that you can hide in there like a lens cloth or something like that. And while we're on the topic of things that you wear, the sponsor of this video and the next item is Vessi Shoes. I bought my first pair of Vessi Shoes about 8 months ago, and I absolutely love them. I have 3 different pairs now. My wife has 2 pairs. They are absolutely ridiculously comfortable, and they look cool, and they are 100% waterproof. Now, the comfort factor is a huge thing for photography, videography. You spend a lot of time on your feet, you're moving around, that kind of stuff, so comfort is absolutely necessary. But one thing that I really love about the fact that they are 100% waterproof is that I'm not scared to get into places that I might not go otherwise. Like if I was wearing a different pair of shoes and I thought that my feet were gonna get wet, I might avoid going to where I needed to go to get that shot. Whereas with the Vessis, I will get to wherever I need to go, knowing that I can just get the water off, or in my case, snow off. I love that Vessi shoes are sustainably made, and I've been really impressed with their Dymatex material and the way that they've done it. It keeps me cool in the summer, but warm in the winter. I've been wearing them all the way through the summer and up to this point in winter, which, I mean, we're pretty deep into our winter here in Edmonton, and they've been keeping me warm no problem. Right now, Vessi is having an early holiday sale, so make sure you hop over there now if this is something that interests you, because you can get some of the best deals that I've ever seen. And if you're watching this later and you missed the deal already, you can use the code Dunna and still get $25 off your Vessi shoes. Make sure to go check all that out down in the link below, and thank you to Vessi for sponsoring this video. All right, the next thing on the list is actually kind of a group of items, and it is mini tripods. Now, there are tons of different types of these out there, but I have a couple that I really like to use. This is called the Switch Pod, and it is designed specifically with vloggers and YouTubers in mind. You can hold it like this, and it's a nice ergonomic way while the camera is facing you, you're filming yourself, but then it's just easy to flip it out like this, and you've got a little tripod. The other one that I've been really liking lately is the Polarpro Apex. The legs on this one, you actually have to unscrew, loosen them off, move them out, and then tighten them back up, but you know they are not going anywhere. It's super nice and sturdy. You can either get it with the ball head or without if you've got your own ball head. And one of the legs also has a nice grip on it, so it's nice for vlogging as well. Next on the list is kind of another category, and I'm calling it the bags category. First and foremost, my go-to bag that has been for a long time is the Wandered Provoke 31 liter. I really do think that it's an absolutely fantastic option for travel, for daily carry, and it's got awesome options for photography, videography. But what you might also want to check out are something smaller like a sling. I'm a big fan of the Moment Sling. I use it when I just need to go out for a quick shoot and I only need to pack a couple of things. Or if you want to go even smaller, we've got the D1 fanny pack from Wandered. But beyond just the actual bags and backpacks, there's also all the organization inside those bags. Moment has their fantastic travel wear series where they've got these different bags and organizers. This is my tech pouch, so it's got all my hard drives and cables and stuff in it. This one I'm currently using for all my batteries and chargers. These kinds of things can be amazing and super handy for anyone who carries around a lot of little gadgets. Like I said, I could go on for days in this category, so I'm just gonna stop it there, but like I said, there are lots of links down in the description. Speaking of carrying around little gadgets, the next item on the list is a mini LED light. Now, again, there are tons of different options in this category. You got Lume Cube, you got Falcon Eyes, all sorts of different things, so it's hard to break it down to just one, but the one that I'm gonna suggest this year is the Aputure MC. The reason that I chose the Aputure MC is one, because it's a fantastic light. It's so handy to have, just toss it in the backpack. It's super tiny. It's got magnets on the back, so you can stick it to all sorts of things. It's fully RGB, so you can do any kind of color you want. And it's just around that $100 mark, so it's a nice gift for someone that you might know, or yourself. I see you. And while we're on the topic of small things, we're gonna talk about Bongo Ties. These are kind of practical, so maybe not the most exciting gift, but if I got these, I think I'd still be really stoked. Basically, I've picked up two different types of these. One is the actual Bongo Tie brand, and this is kind of a rubber thing with a little bamboo piece of wood on the end, and you wrap it around, and then it just like attaches things together. The other option is this kind of fabric elastic type thing, and it's got a little fastener, so you can either wrap it around and tighten that, or you can just stick this on your snowman and tighten him up. Now he's got a cool addition to his hat. I'm always ordering more of these because they are so handy. Cable ties, holding together straps, whatever. And speaking of straps, the next on the list is actually the Polarpro's Traverse and Belay, and this is a cool system. Okay, so what we've got here, this is called the Traverse, and you put this on your backpack strap, and then what you can do is you attach your camera to it, and it'll just sit there on your shoulder or on your chest, and you can easily get it off to shoot and put it back on when you're not using it, hands-free. But one of the coolest things is that it's not just the backpack strap, they've also got an actual camera shoulder strap as well that you can do the same thing. Now, the coolest thing about this is that you don't have to have anything attached to the sides of your camera. Basically, you attach this little tripod mount, and this does work as a tripod mount as well. You attach this to the bottom of your camera, and then it snaps in there. So when it's on the strap, it's on the strap, and when you take it off, there is no strap attached to your camera. This is something that I absolutely hate about other camera straps, is that when I go to try and shoot, I have to pull the strap around with it and it's getting in the way and I can't see. This, you actually pull it right off of the strap, so there's nothing attached to your camera besides this one tiny little piece. And most of the time we have some kind of a tripod mount attached to the bottom of our cameras anyway. Now, so far all the gifts that we've talked about have been physical things, but what I want to talk about next is the gift of learning. And of course, I'm talking about online courses. I've got two different recommendations for you. Over on the Moment website, they've got a lessons portion that is full of awesome content. I've taken the Jesse Driftwood course and the Colin and Samir course, and they are fantastic, and they have so much more over there. And second of all is on Skillshare. You can get a monthly membership to Skillshare, and there is just everything over there. So make sure to check those out if you're someone who likes to give gifts that are something to do more so than like a physical thing. That might be the way to go for you. And then on the side of software, something that you might want to look into is something called the Pro Panel from John Weatherby. This is specifically a plugin that's made for people who use Photoshop. It is full of preset tools that you can use when you're editing your photos in Photoshop. There are all sorts of buttons in there that take the normal things that you might do during your photo editing anyway and turn them into one click. Definitely a good one to check out for those who use Photoshop. All right, getting back into the more physical things, the next item is super clamps and friction arms. And I connect these together because generally I use them together. So this is what we might call a super clamp, or just a clamp, I guess. And then this is a friction arm. And when you put them together like this, you can mount pretty much anything, pretty much anywhere. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these in my set right now. So handy. You can put lights on there, you can put cameras, you can put microphones, whatever you need to rig up, wherever you need to rig it up, this is the way to go. They're super handy and they're not too expensive. I personally like to get the Smallrig ones because I think they do a really good job with them. Next on the list, what is next on my list? My coffee's getting cold. If anyone's planning on getting me Christmas gifts, coffee's a good choice. Next on the list is the Monogram Creative Console. I absolutely love this thing. I was part of the beta testing, so this is an early model, but they are fully out now and it is incredible. It starts with this little guy here. This is kind of the brain of the operation. And then you add all of these other different units and you can do them kind of however you want. You can either use their built-in presets that they have for certain programs, or you can customize your own. For example, I've been editing everything in DaVinci Resolve lately and there wasn't a preset when I was using it, so I had to make my own and it worked really, really well. Not only is it cool that it's so customizable, but I love the feel of everything that they've done with it. These buttons here feel like kind of an old video game or something like that. They're fantastic. Now, we've got all of these electronic devices, cameras, computers, whatever. We need to power them somehow. Batteries are always running out, so the next gift on the list is actually power banks, and specifically the Zendure power banks, or Zendure. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that. I've got 2 different ones that I really like to use. This big honker that is actually enough power to charge my laptop. It's got 4 USB-C ports. 2 of them charge faster than the other 2, but they're all super powerful. And then the other one that I got from Zendure is actually this smaller one, and it's fantastic to just kind of throw in my bag. It's got 2 USB-A ports and a USB-C port. Again, super powerful, great for like an iPad or a smaller laptop, as well as a huge capacity for how small this thing is. And while we're on to electronics, next on the list are Hyperdrive docks. Hyperdrive just released their Generation 2 docks, which are fantastic. They are USB-C, so great for people who have MacBook Pros or any kind of Mac really nowadays that mostly has Thunderbolt and USB-C. They've got a couple of different sizes, so you've got some options as far as what you might need. And my favorite part for photographers and videographers is that the SD card readers that come on these things are now UHS-2 compatible, so you're gonna get faster read speeds when you're dumping your footage or your pictures onto your computer. They've got the big honker that's good for like kind of a desktop type of thing. They've got this medium one, and then of course they've got this little guy here, which is kind of built to go on the side of your MacBook. Lots of different options there. The next gift on the list is because we as content creators spend a lot of time at our desks. We want it to feel nice, we want it to look nice, and that is a desk mat. I personally picked up a bunch of these different desk mats. These are both double-sided, so they've got different colors on either side. They're fake leather basically, and you just lay them down on your desk and then everything kind of looks a little bit more put together, a little bit nicer. I've got my black one that stays on my desk most of the time, and then I've got these other colors that are not only handy for being on my desk when I want to change things up, but also for product shots if I want a different color background, if I'm kind of doing a top-down shot. Really handy so that I can match whatever it is that I am shooting. The next item on the list is a big one, and it is the iFootage Slider Nano, and I've actually been using it to get all of the moving shots in this video. It is one of the easiest sliders that I have ever used. You don't have to connect it to the app. You can, it's an option and it works really well, but you don't have to. It's got a touch screen on it. It's so easy to set up and so easy to use. And one of the best parts is that it's not just a slider, it actually slides and pans. So if you're a photographer and you want to get into doing some time lapses, you can use it for that. Or if you're a videographer and you want to add some movement to your shots, it is so handy, so wonderfully made, and so easy to use that I just couldn't help but suggest it to you guys. And like I said, I've been using it a lot in this video. And finally, the last item on the list is probably one of my favorites. I use these things every single day, and that is the AirPods Pro from Apple. Now, while you can definitely get the regular AirPods, if you can afford it, if it's part of the budget, I definitely suggest going for the AirPods Pro. They make a huge difference. The sound is fantastic, the fit is fantastic, and to top it all off, the noise canceling in them is amazing. You can go basically into complete silence, or you can go into transparency mode, which allows you to still listen to your music or whatever you got going on, but still hear what's going on around you. They sound so good. I didn't think I was gonna like them as much as I like them, but they are absolutely amazing. So that's it. 2020 holiday season gift guide. I hope that helped you in some way, whether you're shopping for yourself or for somebody else. Hopefully that was helpful. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. And on your way down there, hit the like and subscribe button. Huge thank you to Vessi for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. Again, you gotta check them out. Thanks so much for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time.